Hi, Vieira with StockMarketLive.tv. Well, today once again, unfortunately, we are going to discuss one more fraud in the markets by a company very well known in the United States, Wells Fargo. Probably most people, they will consider this bank to be credible, but as you can see on the news, it is not credible at all. It has never been. $124 million payday for a Wells Fargo executive who had the fake accounts unit. More than 5,300 workers involved in the bogus account scheme. More than 5,300 workers. So everyone knew about this. And unfortunately, this situation continues happening not only in Wells Fargo. Bear in mind that Wells Fargo, and this is one of the biggest scandals in 2016, I've been involved in the markets in the past 25 years exposing these situations well before they come up to public, and during the course of 2016 I already exposed several with regards to, for example, share price manipulation. Last year in 2015 also exposing the same situation. Unfortunately, this situation occurs and continues to occur, and it is going to continue. And the reason is very simple, my friends. The reason is very simple, is that the fraud compensates. These investment banks, they consider that the fines that they have to pay in the end, it is worth the fact that they get involved in illegal schemes. And this is such a scandal that, quite frankly, I don't have words to describe it. $124 million paid to a criminal, precisely the person responsible for this scheme. $124 million, and this is only today possible in a country as the United States, precisely the country that says that where they change the rules, where they have a lot of regulation, but I never seen anything. Since the financial crisis in 2009, I have not seen anything. So in the past 2 decades, everything continues the same. And today, unfortunately, it is not the case of Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is the company that, for information, you find it at StockMarketLive.tv. One of our recommendations to sell shares of Lululemon at $77, and we did the reverse to the short side. Wells Fargo, it is the bank that when Lululemon was trading at around $80, Wells Fargo was raising targets in Lululemon. So what happened then in Lululemon is that shares, they crashed. All right, so Wells Fargo, it is a bank that not only involved, in fact, in these illegal schemes as well as Ponzi schemes in the US stock market. But unfortunately, it is not only the case with Wells Fargo. And at Stock Market Live, you find many articles discussing precisely this case or similar with other investment firms in the United States. And they continue, and people, the SEC, the Federal Reserve, they don't do anything. They don't care. So if they don't care, my conclusion, which is obvious for anyone who has a brain, is that they sign and they authorize these things to happen. And please, for God's sake, don't tell me that you didn't know about this, okay? So 5,300 workers, they knew about it. They were working, 5,300 workers working in the same scheme, illegal scheme, United States, in an investment firm. And people, they are opening accounts there. It's Credit Suisse, is, Goldman Sachs, and basically almost all of them. Although I don't like to generalize, but many or most are involved in similar schemes. Some with fake accounts, others with share price manipulation in the markets, others with Ponzi schemes, targets that, for example, a few months ago, they were downgrading a stock to strong sell. Today, for example, after shares rally, let's say 300% or whatever, they are upgrading shares. This is other example of fraud in the US stock market. And these things, they happen every single day. But also they happen for one reason, is that it allows you to profit from it and to understand how to invest in the market. You have to comprehend, you have to understand that you have to comprehend all this kind of activity that unfortunately it exists. It will continue to exist because authorities, they don't give, quite frankly, a shit. And what you have today on the news, CNN, with this person here, Senator Warren, well, is this something is going to happen? The question is, what is going to happen? Because by far probably worse than this happened, you know, in 2009 and before, and where the people were they jailed? And the answer is no. For example, in 2016, I saw unbelievable things happening around Tesla Motors and with Solar City, and today, who raised questions with regards to Tesla Motors Solar City deal as an example? As just an example, all right? No one. So things, they are done every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year continues this kind of you know, situation that unfortunately has it is a characteristic of the markets, but because it is a characteristic of the markets, it also exists because with the connivance of the authorities, namely the SEC and the Federal Reserve, since the Federal Reserve and their policies precisely help this situation to occur, okay? So when people, they say that the markets, for example, it is an illusion in a certain sense, or that the markets are manipulated, they are absolutely right. The markets are manipulated. The markets are an illusion, obviously, since they, you know, there is not a concept of free market is bullshit. It has always been, but that does not imply that one cannot profit from the markets precisely by knowing how to take advantage of these situations, as I demonstrated as an example recently with the case of Tesla Motors Solar City, or the case of Lululemon, all right, which both examples you find among many at stockmarketlive.tv. So I just wanted to call your particular attention for the existence of fraud and by these companies that most they believe to be credible, just because they have nice buildings, they have stamps, they have legal documentation, they have the money to pay, you know, these elaborated schemes. But today it is a fact that scams, they are by far more elaborated compared to the past. Moreover, and just to finalize, the fines that these investment firms, they have to pay, I don't find even an expression in English, but is, you know, like I said before at the beginning, the crime compensates. And while the crime compensates for all these investment firms, and for example, during the course of 2016, you had the news by the Department of Justice that they fined Goldman Sachs $5 billion. I mean, $5 billion for a company that what they did in the financial crisis, I mean, is a bogus payment, all right? So completely bogus, a sham, scam, false, and as I find also this news on CNN. So today, for example, people, they might think that Wells Fargo is paying the price for what they did. They are not paying anything. They have not paid anything, my friends. What you see today is more people are opening accounts there in Wells Fargo, more criminals are opening banks in Wells Fargo, as well as in other banks, because these kind of schemes, they help precisely the criminals to go there and to take advantage of it, all right? So they are interested in criminals. That is not our case. We are against it, and we have been, it is part of the mission of the company and the policy of the company to expose these situations as soon as we are aware of it, and in most cases, in fact, well before they become public, since I'm an expert reading the tape and I can read or see these things as I exposed in the examples that you have on the website of the company, all right? So, my friends, continue investing in the markets, try to learn and to understand that these things, they are there, they will continue to be there, unfortunately, and that authorities are not interested to do anything about it, even if they come on TV to say that blah, 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 the blah, blah, blah does not matter at all. We want results, and results, they have never shown any results since regulation and all this crap. Everything that has been done is precisely to bail out the investment banks and the citizen to pay for this mess. by increasing taxes, and so on and so on. So, in the end, you are going to vote in someone that is going to help this, to become even more popular, and therefore you also, those that they are going to vote, responsible for this fraud. Okay, so I think that is implicit mathematical statement. Thank you.